That's a song called The Messenger from a pretty talented young musician from North Queensland. Bobby Maguire is his name. And he's here to tell us a little bit more about his story and his music for Tuesday. G'day, Bobby Maguire.
Hey, how's it going?
Whereabouts are you from? Where's home?
I actually grew up in Gelatin.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, but I kind of started a lot of my gigging around Mossman and Port Douglas.
So, yeah, met Gelatin on the mountains west of Mossman.
Yes.
Beautiful country, isn't it?
Yeah, up in the hills there, yeah, right next to the bump track. The old bump track.
For the four-wheel drives, yep.
Yeah.
And was it a pretty musical growing up, or how did you kind of get involved with music?
With music, growing up as a young child, Mum and Dad were always playing bands like Oasis, Joe Cocker, things like that, In Excess, U2. But I really got into music when I couldn't ride motorbikes or play sport.
Oh, so was it an accident that brought it on?
No, it wasn't. I had a bit of a chest deformity as a kid, and I had to go down to the Royal Children's Hospital when I was about 14 and have a metal bar put in my chest for a couple of years to kind of straighten out my bones.
So that meant no sport for a while?
Yeah, or at least definitely no contact sport and no dirt bike riding and things like that for a while. So my dad bought me an electric guitar and I kind of really got into it.
Wow.
Since then. I mean, I'd learned a few things from my mum, which this is actually her guitar I bought in today. So this is the very first guitar that I ever touched, which is my mum's guitar, which I think I've kind of nicked it off her, to be honest.
Yeah, and it looks like it's done some Ks.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully she's not listening. She'll know how much I've beaten it up. Yeah,
yeah, well, you're a true rock star, hey? Just wrapping it around people's heads and stuff.
Oh, well, yeah, close.
By the time you turn 16, so you pick up a guitar out of necessity, really, because you couldn't play sports. So you pick up a guitar and you learn. You get 2 EPs out before you're 16. Is that right?
Yeah. So I was playing in a band called Canned Peaches. And I was being taught vocals and guitar by a local called Danny Ross, who's had some success on The Voice and things like that recently. But yeah, he actually produced those first 2 EPs for my band and I. So it was my brothers. We're in a band called Canned Peaches, and we had a few friends come in as well. But we ended up having a music video on Channel 10. Along with one of those EPs.
Wow.
Yeah, that was cool. I ended up making up a music video for my local film and television class for an assignment, and I just sent it in to Channel 10 and they played it, surprisingly enough, on Saturday morning.
Not bad for a 16-year-old from, North Queensland, is it?
Yeah, I know. I think I peaked early.
Well, so how old are you now, Bobby Maguire?
I'm 25 now.
25 now, so it's been about 10 years since you kind of started getting up on stage and performing. Tell us about some of the places you've played over the years.
Oh, well, so I spent 3 years in Melbourne doing music degrees, so I've played down there, performed on Channel 31 down there and a few venues around there. I've also, at the start of this year, I did some performances in the French Alps and the English Riviera. Obviously, performing around Cairns and things like that. I supported the Cat Empire earlier this year, doing gigs up in Cape Tribulation, in Daintree. Yeah, kind of all over the spot, whoever will have me.
What were you doing in the French Alps?
Just there on a holiday and ended up walking into a club and they kind of...
Took a guitar with you, did you?
Yeah. So, yeah, that was pretty cool.
That sounds pretty fun for a young bloke. You do originals, singer-songwriter material. Where do you kind of mine we heard The Messenger there. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind some of these tracks.
Yeah, well, with that song in particular, that one, The Messenger, I'm using as kind of another alias for Karma. So it's karma kind of coming back around to someone who's not necessarily taking responsibility for their actions and things like that. So a lot of that came from a bit of Joy Division, some also, obviously Nirvana, Pendulum. I was listening to a lot of Pendulum at the time. A lot of that eighth notey kind of, really, really dirty rock as well. Yeah, distorted bass and things like that. That's where that particular song came from. But the one I'll play later on in the show was inspired more by bands like the Kooks and the Arctic Monkeys, Oasis, even The Cure. That kind of Britpop almost.
Yeah, wow. So you went to Melbourne and did a Bachelor of Music. You went to university for music?
Yeah, I was trying to legitimise it somewhat,
exactly.
So,
well, when you do a music degree, what are the things it can open you up to?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not like you go and get a gigs by handing out that certificate or anything like that, but it does kind of skill you up.
Does it look good on the resume?
I don't know. I don't really. I'll have to ask. Because I had no interest in pursuing teaching or anything like that. I genuinely did that degree for knowledge. And it was cool because the particular degree we did didn't really focus so much on theory. It was more on, it was more kind of like a small business course, really. So you learn about your copyright laws and, you know, business plans, cash flow projections,
well,
all that fun stuff.
Isn't it, if you want to be a musician, and that's what you want to be?
Well, yeah, we're all sole traders at the end of the day, whether we're selling carpets or, you know, writing songs and things like that. So you just got to kind of make it work how you can. And it's really cool because they're doing a lot of things lately. The Tanks Arts Centre, Q Music's doing some stuff to help gear up local musicians and, yeah, give us some info and things, which is really cool.
Hearing from Bobby Maguire, he is here for Tuesday, 25-year-old musician from Port Douglas. He is an original singer-songwriter, and we heard a song of his to lead in. Now, Bobby's bought his banged-up guitar, Mum's guitar. It's not that banged up, I'm talking it up. It does look quite beautiful, actually, Mum's guitar. And you're going to be playing us a song. What are you playing us?
So I'm going to play you a song called Moving to the City.
Okay, well, if you are ready, we are ready.
All good.
Take me to the show and I know I'm no good, but it's not fair. You're too pretty and I'm moving to the city where it's tall. He'll wake you up in the morning, shake you up till you're falling. And all around me I only see Mr. Lonely. Far too young, but it's not fair. So ready, and the man says to take it steady. Well, it's tall, he'll wake you up in the morning, shake you up till you're falling. And all around me I only see Mr. Lonely. And I won't shed no tears, and I won't have no fear, 'cause I've got to get you out of here. And I won't be afraid, though I'm moving away. Hello, you're welcome to the show, and I know I'm no good, but it's not fair. You're too pretty, and I'm moving to the city. I know it's only rock and roll, shaking to the bones. It's not fair. Yeah, you're too pretty, and I'm moving to the city where it's tall. He'll wake you up in the morning, shake you up till you're falling. And all around me I only see Mr. Lonely. We're tall and we're waking up in the morning, shaking up till you're falling. And all around me I only see Mr. Lonely. And I won't shed no tears, and I won't have no fear, and I've got to get you out of here. And I won't be afraid, though I'm moving away. Welcome to the show. I know I'm no good, but it's not fair. You're too pretty, and I'm moving to the city.
How good's that? Live music this afternoon on Northern Drive. Bobby Maguire here for Tuesday. It's our local music spotlight. And Bobby, an original singer-songwriter from the tropics, 25 years of age, and a great and original song we just heard there, moving to the city. Was that moving to Melbourne or moving to Cairns or moving to where?
Well, I thought I'd play that today because I have actually just moved to Cairns in the last couple of weeks. But I wrote that song when I was 16. I started writing that song, and I was looking at going away and studying music down in Melbourne. So yeah, that's a kind of high school song of mine.
It's great to come home. Many musicians think they need to move to Melbourne in order to make it. You've gone down to Melbourne, done your degree, decided you wanted to come home, and you're carving out your little niche here. Was it a bit of a gamble for you when you were down there, weighing up whether it was coming home to kick off the career
massively.
or doing it down there?
Yeah, it is. And it's a funny one, and it really does depend on what you want to do. I mean, obviously, the bigger cities do offer more opportunities, but we're getting some great stuff happening in Cairns at the moment. For instance, after this, I'm going to go to an open mic night. There's open mic nights and things almost every night of the week. Lots of gigs and things around the place. Tanks Arts Centre is another good hub for it. So you can definitely carve out a living playing music in Cairns, and I know many people that do it.
As an originals artist, though, or do you have to kind of play covers to
I do
the crowd?
I do the covers thing simply because we've got such a massive tourism industry up here. It kind of lends itself more to your cover band situations. But in saying that, we've got a lot of some original scene, and we do have some all original gigs and things like Resonate and such. Yeah. So
how often do you reckon you get asked to play horses? Or something like that.
I was actually asked that last week. And the good thing was I didn't have to say no because everyone else in the crowd turned around and said no for me. So I got to rely on the good old democracy of the crowd.
What's another regular request from the crowd in general when it comes to covers?
God, sitting on the dock of the bay. Obviously you've got your play some K-San. It depends on the demographic. The funny thing is when someone asks you to play a really obscure song like off a B-side or something, and when you say, "Oh, sorry, I don't know that song," they give you this really dirty look, and it's cool.
As if every musician knows every song.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you'll be judged against.
We're like an encyclopedia of audio clips or something.
Now, you've already pumped out quite a lot of original music. You've got an EP from which the song that we're about to hear, Breathe. Actually, Breathe's a standalone single, is it? The new one?
That's a standalone single,
okay.
But it comes after the 3-track EP that I did.
Yeah, so Moving to the City, the song you played for us, that's on your EP. What's your next project?
So I'm currently working on some songs and demoing some songs I really want to do either another EP or an album. I'm just weighing up cost-wise, saving whether I want to spend more on promoting the 4-track EP or whether I want to go the whole hog and do an album because it's quite expensive, the whole kind of situation.
Yeah, but it's a big expense.
Got lots of tracks that I'm working on at the moment, so lots of new music kind of coming.
Do you play the festival circuit in North Queensland? Do you get onto stage much?
Yeah, I do a few festivals. I've actually been booked for the Tablelands Folk Festival later this year, and I've done Festival Cairns for a couple of years, as well as a few other smaller ones here and there.
You got your own website. If people want to track down more of your music, where can they do that?
Just bobbymaguire.com, but make sure you spell Maguire Maguire.
Yeah, it's a bit of a trap for young players, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Jerry Maguire spelling. It's a bit different. The amount of times you rock up to venues and you see a Mick or something set up, you're like, oh, all right.
well, I hope Mum was listening today because it was a beautiful sound out of that guitar you got there.
Yeah, the old guitar. This guitar's probably as old as me.
It's a perler. It's an absolute ripper. You put that in a vintage shop and people would pay a fortune for it.
She got it off Stu Forbes in Port Douglas. He's the man to see if you're looking for a guitar. Stu Forbes, very, very
knows his way around a 6-string, does he?
Luthier and musician as well. Yeah,
wow, okay. All right, so we're going to go out with Breathe, which is a recently recorded song of yours.
Yeah, this is a song that I did last year with Mark Myers in Cairns.
Who's a Cairns-based producer.
Cairns-based producer, doing a lot of work. A lot of other Cairns artists are using him as well, so out of Big Sister Studios.
Well, I'm going to just get you to stay there, Bob, because I need your input. Is this Breathe? I just need to know. Thumbs up from Bobby. This is Breathe. Yeah. Take it easy. Safe drive home.
Cheers for having me.
took the left. I turned right to face my demons as you took my